Hello there humans, I'm Cecil Runo. I'm a partially blind alien who likes to write stuff. This video is a writing update, and if you like the content, I will see you comment below if you like it or not. I'm going to do a little bit of a bi-weekly writing update together with my weekly Tuesday uploads. So I figured that if I'm going to make videos about writing and AuthorTube and all that stuff, I also have to keep myself accountable and also keep you posted on what's going on with my actual writing. So without further ado, I'm going to go in the same format as a previous video that I had. First I'm going to talk about my poetry, then a little bit of the short stories, and then my novels. So apparently I became a juggling writer with many projects, despite the fact that I didn't want to do that. But well, life is life, and my brain is my brain, and I'm a strange little creature, and I just have a constant bombardment of ideas. Happens. I have accepted the reality that this is what writers have to go through. My first poetry update is regarding a poem that I've already written. If you're curious to see it, it's on my Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook if you're curious. That's my handle. Follow me. But yeah, finally found the appropriate ambience sound that I want to add for my upcoming YouTube upload of the poem. It takes me time, and listening to all kinds of no copyrighted music available on YouTube, and I finally found the one that I felt like this is it. Some tracks were too long, some tracks were too short, and I felt like I was reciting the poem a little bit too rushed, and that was not nice. So yeah, it takes time, and just to go through playlist of content and finding the right one for your poem. If there's someone who's deeply into the background music, it's this alien here. It's very important for me, not just my poem, but what goes in the background as well. So I'm gonna take the opportunity to give a quick shout out to co.ag. Please check his channel. If you want to say that Cecil Runo sent me here, tell him whatever. You don't have to, but yeah, show him some love. He's an excellent musician, and he puts all his content for you to use it in your YouTube videos, documentaries, presentations, whatever. You just have to credit him. If you see in my description box, I am always crediting him because I use his content as my background music. I love it, and a lot of people they call it the horror community because they are mostly narrators of creepypastas or true horror stories or fictional horror stories, but it's the narrator of horror community. They know what I'm talking about. I mean, they have been using co.ag's music and other music creators here on YouTube's music as well, so they know what I'm talking about. This guy, to me, he's my personal favorite. He's the salvation for content creators on YouTube and all the copyrighted stuff going on, and I'm not gonna go into that, but yeah, if you need music for your videos, if you're a sci-fi writer, a horror writer, or dark material kind of writer, this guy has everything. Sci-fi, ambience, soundscapes, dark, even peaceful and meditation. This guy has everything. Everything. I mean, everything that I need. So just go and check it out. Send him some love. So yeah, thanks to him, I have found music for Façade, which is one of the poems that I'm going to be uploading in October. I'm going to make October a thing for poetry. And also, there's another poem that I have written long way before I started the YouTube channel. It's called Glass, and I think I found the appropriate track for that one too. Also thanks to co.ag. This is my, by the way, he is not sponsoring me at all. We are independent artists that are surviving on the support of the community. So he's not sponsoring me. I am just a big fan, and because I don't have actual money to donate, I am supporting him by just spreading the love. So yeah, I found another track that I feel it's appropriate for the poem Glass. I have to still practice reading the poem with the actual music and see how that fits, but I think I found it. So 2 poems coming up not next month, sorry, October. It's coming in 2 months. And also, thanks to his music, once again, I found a track that's absolutely beautiful, and it is inspiring the concept of a poem that I have not written yet. It's not ready, but I have a concept here and I am planning on writing it. But I have a few rhymes, I have a few lines in my head. You see how I rhyme with everything, sorry. The thing is, I already have a track. This is weird. I've never had a background sound before I write a poem. So let's see how that goes. But yeah, 3 poems. I need 1 more. I need 1 more for my October uploads. But yeah, the last one that I have not written yet is based on trains and the whole concept of trains and like things that go linked together on the same track, and like, yeah, it's something about trains. And with this, I'm going to transition to my short stories. Okay, because we already know that I was published in a disability and romance anthology, and guess what? This group of anthology writers are planning the second one, and I am going to be part of it. I'm so happy. So this is my quick tip, if you will, for everyone who says, oh, I will never write this and that genre. Well, look, a lot of people answer the question of which genre you will never write with romance. And I hear you, I feel you. I am not the most romantic alien in town, I know. But one thing is, I am never gonna fall in love, or I feel like I'm not gonna fall in love, or I feel like I don't have the experience because I've never had a partner, or blah blah blah, all that shenanigans. I understand you because I am in the same boat. But guess what? Romance it's just like any other genre. It's a genre. You don't necessarily have to have a partner to write a love story. You have seen a bunch of love stories in your life. You can draw inspiration, you can ask around, you can ask people who are in love to give you feedback. It happens. It's just a genre. And yeah, I consider it a pretty challenging genre, precisely because I am not very romantic myself. So actually, I dive into it because I love the challenge. I love the challenge of putting myself in the shoes of other people, of fictional characters, and try to see things from a perspective that is not necessarily my own. Because I mostly write about things that are of my own perspective. And that's great, I love it, I adore it. But sometimes I just like to dive into someone else's perspective. It's fun and it helps me to get to know the world a little bit better. So this anthology should be released around Valentine's 2020. Stay tuned for that. I am going to keep you posted. For now, I have finally reached the concept of the story that I want to write about. I have my pitch. The pitch. You see how my mood is improving as summer goes away? I'm telling you, depression in summer is a thing. I have it. Anyway, I finally have the pitch. It's a sci-fi romance, so now I am moving it a little bit more on my actual genre because it's a sci-fi romance set in Argentina on board of the train in the clouds, aka El Tren a las Nubes. That's what it means in Spanish. It's an actual train. It's a real place in the north of Argentina, on their side of the Andes mountain chain. So it's a beautiful place. I've never seen those views. Like, it's one of those train rides that I have to take at least once in a lifetime whenever I have the money for that. But yeah, it's in Argentina. I love the setting. I already have my character's name, and I already have a little bit of the concept for the plot. I have ideas. I'm currently outlining. So yeah, stay tuned because I'm gonna keep you posted. I am really falling in love with this story concept around a train. So you see how it's linked to the poem actually. because I have a tendency that sometimes, not always, but sometimes I have a story, a short story, and a poem that it's linked to the story somehow. I don't know, it's not always the case, but it happens. It just happens. I'm a little bit of both, so I write stories and poems, and my brain's like, oh, what about a poem about this thing? Anyway, so thank you very much, Code.ag, for the inspiration about trains, and also another song that's actually called Tren del Cielo by Soledad. It's an Argentine folk musician. So yeah, that song has been with me for some years now, and yeah, thank you for the inspiration. Music inspires a lot of my writing, so no surprise. That's what's coming up. There's also another little thing that popped up in my mind regarding the short stories about the Valkyries. First, I only had Hildur's story, and that one is ready, and I also had some people reading it, beta reading it for feedback, and they helped me to improve it, so I improved that baby. Thank you. I value all pieces of feedback, and I take everything into consideration, and I work my best to improve my stories, so thank you very much for that. Thank you, billion thank yous. I really appreciate it. But finally, I got like the actual path to follow regarding what am I going to do with the Valkyries anthology. That's kind of like my own anthology with all the stories written by me. I don't know who's gonna publish that. I have no idea. I have to do research, but anyway, that's something I really want to do. I have already spoken about that in a previous video, so finally I have a concept of what am I going to do with this short story collection. Now, each of the Valkyries will have her own short story, focusing on the special skill that they have. Each of them can control one of the elements and so on. And now I have this concept that there's going to be a central conflict, and the rival of each of the Valkyries is going to be a sort of an equal, in the sense that they can manipulate the same element. Like they are kind of like in a similar position or something, but it's going to be about their choices and how they use their skill sets, for good, for bad, or for whatever. But that's going to be the whole anthology topic. It's going to be called Choices. That's my title. It's like, what? Just choices? Yes, just choices. And I really like it, not just because of the concept of your decisions and how you use what you have at hand and all that stuff, but also like the word Valkyrie in itself means the chooser of the slain. So choices, it's perfect. I love it, and finally I have it. So now I can start like outlining and like going a little bit deeper into the characters' unique stories. There's a lot of research to do because some of these girls have disabilities that are not my own, and so their set of struggles is different. Also, their set of skills is different depending on what they have and how they accommodate their disabilities with their actual skills and their element and all that stuff. So it's going to be a hell lot of research, but I am willing to do that in the future, because now I have to focus on the anthology thing that has a deadline, and I'm not the best with deadlines. So this is another reason why I want to do this bi-weekly writing update thing. I want to show you that I am actually walking the walk, and if that's the way that I'm going to motivate people, that's perfect. I am not the best teacher with like how to do this, how to do that, and definitely I don't want to be a motivational speaker guru thing. I have my reservations. I don't want to be that kind of. So if I'm going to motivate people is by doing the stuff. And at first I was thinking maybe I should post it on Instagram or like whatever, but not everyone from my YouTube audience uses Instagram or Twitter or whatever. So I said, okay, you know what? Yeah, follow me on social media, but at the same time, I'm not gonna make a goose chase for you, like a goose chase for you. Yeah, I'm tongue-tied. But yeah. So I decided, okay, make it a bi-weekly thing plus your weekly Tuesday thing. So yeah, I want to keep myself accountable and at the same time doing everything and subsequently motivate you to do your thing. If a blind person is doing it, you can do it too, whatever. So yeah, I'm going to be working on the anthology first, but I am so glad that I finally have the whole concept for my beautiful disabled girls doing their thing. I love it. I'm so happy. I'm over the moon, whatever. And now novels. When it comes to my novels, I have 2 that are in the making, from 2 out of 3 because it's a trilogy. And yeah, okay, book 2, I'm sorry to say, but of course, like with all the stuff that you're hearing in this video, it had to take a little bit of a back burner position for now. Depression has been really rough on me. I've been struggling with nightmares. The heat is intense. I hate it. I get anxiety. I get like really horrible mood. Like, not mood swings, but I get like really moody. Like, it's just hard. It's really tough. Summer is not a season where I can rush myself to do things. Despite that, I have been trying my best. But you know what? Book 2, I advanced a little bit, but it's taking a bit of a back burner because book one is in need of a little bit of a rewrite. And this is something I want to take the time to, like, not to give you an advice, but like to give you a heads up, because I am so much of a planner. I plan everything because I have to. I know that editing is not for me. Editing is super hard. I cannot edit properly to save my life, so I try to compensate by planning absolutely everything before I start writing. But let me tell you something. Your chapter 1 of any book, chapter 1 is going to be a mess. No matter how much you plan it, it doesn't matter how much you plan it, please consider rewriting it after you finish your draft. Take a look at it, ask for feedback, and please just give it a go and rewrite it. You don't have to replace your original plan right away, but in my case, this was my first book in English, like a novel. So I really, it's not that I didn't know what I was doing, because I had a plan. I was very clear on I was very clear on what I wanted to do, but let's say that my initiator on English literature was a book in multiple POV, which is not everybody's cup of tea, and therefore my jam is a multiple POV kind of story where there are many characters, but I mean, yeah, people were telling me there are too many characters, and no. Some people said, no, there aren't that many. Those who told you are not paying attention. Okay, great. But what I feel that I was trying to do, I'm going to go into a little bit of an explanation here. Please join in the discussion in the comments. I want to learn. This is why I am doing this. I'm not here to teach you. I am here to share and to learn together, because maybe someone out there is in the same position as I was. And it's healthy to just talk about it. Let's do this. Join me in the comments and let me know what you think about this. Teach me, enlighten me, correct me. I appreciate all of that. I know that my viewers are incredibly smart, and I respect you and I value you. So yeah, this is why I am blabbering about my book. It's not just to talk about my book, it's because actually I'm here to motivate you and also to learn from each other. So yeah, join in the party. Anyway, my main character is not new to the world. I know that in a lot of books, the introduction for the reader is with a character that is like new to the world, and therefore the reader learns with the character and so on and so on. The problem here is Tibor is not a newbie. He is the contrary. He's like the badass kid who's been raised to be this little monster, and therefore I wanted to keep him in a little bit of a mystery. Like, I wanted to keep him a little bit in the shadows, so to speak. In the shadow. Cue the Rasmus song. No, don't. It's copyrighted. Don't. Anyway, so I was thinking, okay, the first chapter of the book, this is not spoilers, and actually I have a teaser on Instagram if you want to put up with the robotic voice and listen to that opening thing. If you want to hear more, let me know and I will let you know. I will let you hear more. I will let you read more. But yeah, I wanted to introduce the reader with the kids who are joining the space station for their astral projection training, whatever. So they are the newbies, not Tibor. And my original plan was to like just show how they are interacting with this little monster over here, in the sense that they are going to their first test and Tibor is already like, they're like here and Tibor is like here. It's, my hand is going away from the frame, but you know what I'm saying? That was my plan, that was my intention, but apparently it's a little bit too overwhelming because there are 10 kids waiting in line and they are chatting about who is the person inside, why everyone is coming out of the room in terror, what is going on, and yeah, you know, kids are afraid. I wanted to give that kind of dark tone to the story because it's pretty dark. But then I was working on a rewrite and now I am working on like making the story more on Tibor's point of view because he's actually the main character, and it was really hard to pull off keeping him in mystery for like the first half of the chapter. Yeah, for like around the first half of the chapter you hear that he's a he and he's the instructor, but you don't hear his name, you don't know how he looks like, you know nothing, and still you listen to like things from his point of view. And it is clearer, I think, that he has to keep track of all these new kids because he's the one in charge now, or he's the one in charge when daddy is not around. So he's like, I have to be a badass, I have to be the best, Papa is gonna be proud. And now that's what matters in the opening chapter. And still I found a way to have him like keep track of all of them outside. So like it was really hard to pull off, but to be fair, I think I like this rewrite a little bit better. I still like my original, but I understand what people were saying. And so if you want to check the two versions, if you have time for that, hit me on social media, send me a private message. I am going to link you to the draft so you can better read for me and let me know if you like sci-fi, if you like crazy stuff like that, like nightmares and dreams and stuff like that. Please hit me up. I'm open for discussions. But yeah, I wanted to try to like find the balance between what I was trying to do and what the audience is telling me, and it's hard to pull off. But let me tell you, with this whole blabber about the rewrite, I'm telling you that sometimes, even if you have a clear plan of what you want to do, sometimes you are not executing it the best possible way. So just give it a chance, listen to feedback, please listen to feedback and listen to yourself. Find the middle point, do the work, and see how that turns out. Give it a chance. No matter how much of a hardcore planner you are, believe me, I am another one. I plan the heck out of everything. When it comes to my writing, when it comes to my real life, I don't know what planning is. I get nervous when it comes to like appointments and things that I have to do. I have no time management skills. But when it comes to writing and outlining, I plan the heck out of everything, and still, it was just my first chapter, okay? Doll, please, you never start in the best way possible. You just start it. So please go back, correct it. That's my little try to like teach you something when I am actually a terrible teacher. But you know, YouTube is mostly educational and our community is educational, so I'm trying to bring something to the table. Anyway, yeah, so that was the thing. I rewrote chapter 1. I still have the 2 versions, and I think I like this rewrite a little bit better because it's more coherent, maybe. You will let me know. And I have been like going through the subsequent chapters, see if it needs a little bit of a rewrite. Not so much of a rewrite anymore, but like an editing thing. Try not to stay too much away from the POV of the main character. I have 2 main characters, stick to those 2 and just do the best you can. If you have to kill a darling, if you have to take out a scene, if you have to change a scene, just do it. Just please do it. It's for the benefit of your book. Take your ego, throw it out the window. Please just make your book the best you can. So yeah, that was it, my writing update. If you are curious about anything that I've said here, if you want a better read for me, if you want to see my actual material, I have, once again, I have the anthology, Summer Hit Imperfectly Yours, Volume 1. It's published on Amazon, the link is gonna be below. And if you want to see more from my poetry, I also have a playlist. You can check it out. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.